How many languages should I speak in until you understand? Recuerda el tiempo, lebraste cuando. Do you remember the time? Remember when we were strangers to each other? We knew nothing but fear and sadness because high school, although maybe a gratifying experience for some, I think, it was a cruel social experiment. It was a golden age for new relationships, yet a dark age for social drama, filled with excitement and boredom, love and envy, curiosity and disgust, from compassion to pride, from satisfaction to shame, from joy to pain. Every single human emotion was experienced at least once during those 4 years, and as if we were riding a roller coaster, the only thing that kept me buckled in my seat was our friendship. Esto es un homenaje para un amigo. This is a tribute for a friend. I remember when I first met you, I recognized your gentle spirit. And only after being taken advantage of so many times did I realize that you would still put others before yourself. I was surprised to find that you viewed yourself as average and assuredly unacknowledged. But I, and so many others, saw colors that are still unknown to mankind. I remember hiking, I remember camping, I remember making movies, I remember celebrating, I remember listening to each other when we experienced pain. I remember caring for each other in times of struggle. I remember that you told me I was more than just a friend, but a brother. Then things changed, and that I know you understand. Unequivocally, undeniably, unmistakably, I have made my mistakes, this is true. But you've already decided my punishment without my day in court. And just as we were taught to think innocent before guilty, I haven't had the proper chance to testify for my sins. So before the judge, jury, judgment, justice is incomplete unless you listen to my voice. Podrás escucharme. Will you listen to me? Our conflict was like Pandora's box, drowned in the Bermuda love triangle of her and I were a thing, but it just so happens that you bring news that something special happened between the two of you. And let me unpack for you that I was not hurt by this fact, but rather that we grew up learning of Corey and Sean from Boy Meets World, Carly and Sam, Drake and Josh, that true love may come in time, but a best friend would always be there to chime in. Advice, funny jokes, support. I was not hurt by the fact that you were dating this girl, but rather that I felt lied to. You did not steal her, but rather she stole you. I did not lose a friend, but a brother, and not one created by another mother, but rather created by the countless trials that came after another. And me sentí solo, and I felt alone. I was angry, and then it dissipated. And what really ended up precipitating within my heart was not just loneliness, but sadness, because I didn't feel like enough. I felt like I didn't deserve to be your friend. I felt like I needed to be perfect. And this is what I mean. I knew from the very beginning that I wasn't the sun in which your every decision would orbit my gravity, but rather that if I really cared for you, I would support you. I did not want to be selfish. I did not want to be hurt. I wanted to feel okay about everything. I wanted just to desire what was best for you. But if I'm humbly honest with myself, it was a struggle. I felt guilty for all my feelings and decided to leave so that I could mature and become the friend you would need me to be. For when the storms come and the chaos roars, at the end of the day, that's what a best friend is for. But during my absence, I became bitter, fervently fixating, focusing on the fact that I couldn't trust you. But then I realized maybe my quarrel should not be with you, but with perfection. The idea that your best friend will always be there for you and never let you down. It is an impossible standard because you, because I, because we make mistakes, make bad decisions, make the wrong choices. But that doesn't negate from the fact that we didn't care about each other. I needed not perfection, but forgiveness. I needed to forgive you because although the situation was not ideal, you still tried to help me. And I let my pride and my anger get in the way of the fact that you still tried to be a light within my life. I needed not just to forgive you, but myself. Because if I need to be perfect in order to have a best friend, then I am doomed to never have one. I will be alone, like sand tossed by the tide, homeless, friendless, like yin without yang, like an empty flask waiting to be filled, forever to be empty. Me aprendí. I learned. Friendships are never ideal, but rather just real. And that you didn't choose to be my friend because I was flawless, but rather because you saw my flaws and chose to be my friend nonetheless. But the sad fact is this tribute to a friend is never said to you, but to an empty mirror, to the wall, played in the what if half baked daydreams and fake conversations within the shower, because I've already exercised my power to call you, but I never get an answer or a text. And then you reach out to me and say you want to get together, but you always find a way to inch your way out. I don't want the euphemisms of, oh, I was busy, but rather that you just don't want to forgive me. Because you and I both know you're avoiding due to the fact that you would never want to say something that hurts. Even if this is true, even if you didn't want to forgive me, I would respond with empathy because I understand what it's like to hate someone and demand retribution. I wouldn't want to be my friend again either, but at least allow me to apologize because in my eyes, you are still my best friend. I have made mistakes, but I've always had the best intentions, and not to mention, I would still fight tooth and nail to make sure you were doing okay. Unequivocally, undeniably, unmistakably, I would do so. Esto es un homenaje para un amigo. This is a tribute for a friend. So let me raise a glass to someone who is the most caring guy I know, someone with the best humor, a tribute to someone who is the most intelligent, a tribute to someone who deserves the entire world. This is a tribute to a friend, even if that relationship itself is one that will never mend.